afternoon, good evening, and good morning. It's me, Ginger Greek, and it's a Doi Jose 101. And of course, we are talking about the awesome, spectacular, and somewhat now deflated showcase that was the Nintendo Switch 2. I was all buzzing by one thing, and then this mofo right here ruined my day with a singular tweet. But we'll get into that later because right now we are going to focus on the positives. We are going in buzzing because it is going to end really, really badly. Not really. You know, it's going to end like we expect it to end with all corporations. But however, let's talk hardware. Hosea. So, the Switch 2. It is
Yes.
at the equivalence of a PlayStation 4, which, when I'm comparing the PS4 and the PS5 graphically, I'm not noticing that much difference. Maybe performance issues are obviously better on PS5 and all that. That's great. But in terms of it being on par there, where you at? You okay with that? Did you want more?
I'm good with it. I mean, what I like about the Switch 2 is the specs look good. The screen's going to be a little bit bigger, so if you're a handheld player, you're going to love that. It's going to be great for you there. I'm okay with the price, which we'll get into. I'm great with all that. I'm not happy about the physical aspect of the physical copies of games, which we'll explain into. But I'm good with how the Switch looks. Yeah, I'm good with how the Switch looks. I'm good with the new Pro controller. They did say that the Pro controller for the Switch 1 will work on the Switch 2. So props Nintendo for that. You guys got that right there. We're going to be getting a GameCube controller, which is also pretty awesome because GameCube will be coming over to the Nintendo Switch Online for those of you that care about that. But let's go ahead and get into it, man. We got to talk about the games that we saw at this thing.
Yes, absolutely. But before we do that, I'm just going to cover one or two more things regarding the specs. So some of the things that I did like about it, the magnetic grips rather than the slidey thing, which is good for people with gripping issues because you just press a button at the back and it deactivates the magnet. You can pull it off. Now we're going to stay with the controller. The controller acting as a mouse is brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant addition. Now, I don't know how many gamers are going to actually be in a position where, because most of them play on the couch. So
Mm-hmm.
that means you're going to have a little table. I'm okay because I have right here what I'm broadcasting on is an under table thing for the bed. So I can adjust, take my laptop off and just have a nice, great big mouse pad. I'm okay with that. But I applaud the genius behind that. I think that is spectacular. Also, let me get the comments up just in case I miss any. So there we go, because I was on the wrong window. Um, I also hope we get a couple of real-time strategy games now, because with the mouse controller, that's going to be good. It's going to be good to see first-person games. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Because
And I
Sorry, go on.
And I never thought I'd say this, but we're getting From Software games on the Switch. Elden Ring. They said it's going to be 120 FPS, which I don't think you're going to get that for all games, but that's like a holy shit. Like, you guys are really going to try to up the frame rate on these things?
Yeah, so that's another thing we'll get into as well. Um, the obviously the camera you have to buy it separately. That's standard. I'm not going to diss them on that. Everyone does that. How much it costs is a whole other thing. We don't know. But I like that it's on its own, a little stand. You don't have to stick on the TV like you did with the PlayStation 1, or it's weird and all of that. The software surrounding the camera is pretty bloody cool. Obviously, it gets rid of the background, but it sticks you into a game as well with your faces in the game. So if you're doing like Jamboree Party, for example, your face is there, and they've got a couple of extra games that are voice activated and also utilize the kind of mouse thing. So a lot of the software, again, everyone remembers the Switch and the mind fudgery that was the mic that you had to use to set up with your own phone, which
That's
basically
cool too. That's pretty cool too. We're going to be getting it like how we are with Xbox and Microsoft now, where you could get an audio jack with the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro controller. So that's big. For people that do parties, that's big.
that's really good. And if you don't have any of that, You've got your speakers that can hear, and you've got a mic built into the Switch 2, which you can talk into, and it's got like really good audio noise cancelling around it, so it focuses on your voice. So that's really cool. Again, unfortunately, like with all consoles, and I don't understand why governments allow this. To use all of that, you got to pay yearly to go online. PC is free to go online, but with consoles, if you got all three consoles, it's costing you up to £150 a year to do online gaming. That is despicable. Okay, it's mainly two consoles because nobody has an Xbox anymore. All right, but we're not here to dig at Xbox. So that was the kind of hardware kind of stuff with it. Again, pretty cool. I like it. That's the areas I'm always interested in, especially with Nintendo.
Do you want to go? Go ahead.
No, because they're always the ones that like offer these little weird kind of things. Everyone else is just here's a controller, here's a console, enjoy the game, which is fair enough. Sorry, so you were saying?
And I figure let's just go into the price point now of the system itself. $450 for us. It's not really that bad because the Switch 2 was like $400, so I can live with that. I can live with it being $450 and the Mario Kart bundle being $500. I'm like, okay, that's doable because the PlayStation and the Xbox was like $600 when they first came out like 5 years ago. So the way I see it, I'm saving $100. And that's pretty much the good about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. So in the UK, it's going to cost £395, which I know people always complain about prices, but I'm like, if you buy a phone or a tablet, okay, you're paying triple that price. You're paying a laptop crazy money. So why is the console different? Why do you what companies tend to sell these things at a loss? And I personally, because again, if you go back to my when I was a wee lad, these consoles, these machines were costing around £700. Okay, the early days with the Ataris and all this kind of stuff, and your Commodores and all of that. It when adjusted for inflation, around about there, or £400 back then, and all this kind of stuff. So the fact that you're getting the Switch for 400 quid is cheap. Fuck you, it's cheap. 450, I think, with Mario Kart. It's cheap. It's doable day one. You don't have to wait for a price drop. I mean, I don't ever buy day one stuff. That's just me. I always wait a while. That's mainly just to get a built-up games catalog. However, this allows me to transition into the next part, the launch games, and the amount of third-party stuff coming day one is phenomenal. Yeah, it's phenomenal. Like, did not expect it. I thought, we'll get another Mario World. We'll get the Mario Kart that we knew we were going to get. But no, we're getting a bunch of third-party stuff, which that's what we'll focus on now. Some of it's coming day one. Some of it's going to come a bit later. But like you said, Elden Ring from Software are going to be on there at 120 frames per second as well. A lot of the games are going to be able to do like 4K resolution, which is pretty damn good as well. I don't know if they can all run at 120 though. I think it's mainly going to be 60 FPS. But yeah, you've got Borderlands 4 is coming on there. Hogwarts Legacy is coming on there. I know it's an older game, but at least you get the proper version because the Switch version is absolutely diabolical. You're getting the EA Sports games are coming on there, which if you like that sort of thing, that's fine. Anything else for third party, not the Nintendo stuff? We'll get into that
later. As far as like the big shit, let's just get into it. Donkey Kong, finally.
Oh, you're just skipping ahead. You're like ADHD, man. You just skip.
Okay,
so we'll go to it. So it's a good lineup. I can't remember everything. I remember some.
That's why I went into it because I was like, I don't remember everything.
Hitman 3 or Hitman is coming to the Switch, which I still play that game. I'm literally playing that game right now. I love that game. But here was the most important thing. So I hate to derail this conversation briefly, but I will say this. IOI Interactive, as well as announcing Hitman, give us a wee little update that they're soon going to be talking about the James Bond game that they've been working on, that they announced 5 years ago. And I've been screaming. I even messaged IOI Interactive, no reply. But I messaged them to say, yo, what's the update on James Bond? You lot have gone as quiet as the Wolverine game. Okay, because we've had no update on the Wolverine game either. But we're not here to talk about that. So James Bond, well, no, it's still in the works, thank God. So we'll probably Summer Games Fest, we'll probably hear something around there. Back to Nintendo. Donkey Kong. Dave, you take the floor, man. What do you want to say
Dude,
about Donkey Kong?
okay, first off, it looks fantastic. Like, honestly, I'm going to go on record and say this is the most beautiful looking Nintendo game that I think I have seen ever. It looks crisp, it looks fast, it looks clean. It looks like you're going to get a mix of like old school Donkey Kong and new. You'll still get the side scrolling aspect, but then it looks like you'll also kind of get a free roaming aspect with Donkey Kong. It looks fantastic. I cannot wait till July when that game comes out. That will definitely be a day one for a lot of people.
Yeah, July. I thought, isn't it coming out in June?
July
Oh,
17th.
July. It's coming out a month after the Switch.
Yep.
So everyone knows that the Switch coming out June 5th. Everyone's marked their calendars. We don't need to patronize you and call you idiots, even though you are, for no reason. No, but the Donkey Kong, that was a highlight for me.
Mhm.
That was a highlight for me because I don't really care about Mario Kart. You know, it's fine. It is what it is. But we'll talk about the other games later. But the Donkey Kong game, the fact that you could destroy nature, you could smash things up, you could dig down. It's like Minecraft for violent people like myself.
Yep.
And loving it, absolutely loving it. Love the look of it. Love that it's going to be the sillier it is, the better. We don't get enough Donkey Kong. He's way better than Mario. I'm sick to death of Mario. All the other characters in the universe are far more interesting. Even his brother Luigi is more interesting. But yes, this Donkey Kong game looks great. As you say, you get a nice taste of bit of classic, bit of Donkey Kong Country, you know, bit of the new. Let's see what you can do with the Switch controllers with it as well. Oh, that will also be interesting to see what you could do with Hogwarts Legacy with the controllers, because I said you can do a bunch of different stuff now.
Yep.
So that will be interesting. But yeah, that was a highlight for me. We also had a nice little. I almost got excited for it, but the minute I said they said from one of Nintendo's partners, I was like, oh no, it's going to be that like the Dynasty Warriors type game, which they did before, which was the Calamity of Hyrule or whatever it was called, the Zelda game.
Yeah.
Where if anyone that's played Tears of the Kingdom, her story was fantastic because she ends up back in time, which close to the events that led to what happened in Tears of the Kingdom. But you get to play during that time period with the I think it was King and Queen. I forget their names. I'm terrible with names. I barely remember any names in any games, so I apologize for that. But you get to play as them. But it's basically a standard Japanese hack and slash. Did you see that one, Jose?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that one because I do like hack and slashers, but
Okay.
I don't agree with the price. But we will get into that. That is kind of one of the
Yeah.
reasons
Stop
we're here.
trying to skip ahead. God damn it.
Yep. Yep.
Chill.
But
chill.
yeah,
We've got all day.
But that looks good. That looks amazing. It's going to be a good game. I like the fact that, with Nintendo, what they're going to be doing is they're going to be, doing upscale versions of like Zelda and past Nintendo games for certain titles. That's also pretty cool if you care about frame rate and that kind of thing and upscale resolution. That'll be cool.
Yeah. So with regarding that as well, also there was a Kirby kart type game.
Kirby Air Riders, which if you're a kart fan, you're going to like it. Like, for me, I think Mario Kart's going to be the better game of the two because it's Mario Kart and that's Nintendo's one of their main IPs. They're going to go all out with that one. But for Kirby fans, that's cool too.
Yeah, I suppose I prefer to just have a brand new Kirby game.
Yep.
Forgotten Land, I think it was, which was
Yep.
the 3D one, not this side-scrolling one. That was awesome. I love that game.
I think that one's getting DLC too. I think Kirby Forgotten Land. I think it might be getting DLC.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, brand new stuff, which is great. But I already traded that game in because I completed it. There was nothing else to do. I did 100% on it, so I traded it in. There was no point in keeping it.
Yep.
But that's neither here nor there. Now, speaking of the certain exclusives to the Switch 2 and all this kind of stuff, we also get backwards compatibility for a lot of Switch games. But some of them can also, you can upgrade them to Switch 2 levels of graphics. However, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here in the chat, you have to pay extra for that. which is not great. Like to get an upgrade, the privilege of having an upgrade, they're making you pay for it. How much it's going to cost, God knows. Oh, that was it. Hyrule Warriors was the
Yep.
Zelda game. Yeah,
Okay.
but sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
No, but what it's going to cost, I don't know. Let me see if I can find it while you take
Yeah.
the floor.
I mean, it could be anywhere from $10. I think $10 should be the max for these upgrades. Personally, I've heard people say $30, and I'm like, $30 for an upgrade? No, not for that.
Whoops.
But
Uh, I,
yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if it is something stupid,
yep,
unaffordable, like $30.
yep,
To be
because it's
perfectly honest,
Nintendo. Yeah, it's Nintendo.
yeah,
Nintendo's going to price gouge their audience, but I'm glad that for those that care about like the frame rate and the resolution and all that being upgraded, I'm happy that you're going to be able to upgrade your game. That's going to be cool. If you choose to do that, that's on you. Me personally, if I can stick with my original copy and just play how I want to play and not be required to upgrade, that'd be ideal for me. Because some games I'd like to upgrade, some of them I'm like, I don't really care. So it's kind of
yeah,
a mix and match type thing for me.
yeah. Fair enough. I'm not too fussed either. As long as the gameplay is good, that's all that matters to me. That's why I still play games from 25 years ago because the gameplay is phenomenal. So
Yep.
the Switch 2. I'm going to read this article from Eurogamer. Switch 2 might be promising exciting new installments of classic franchises like Open World Mario Kart, but Nintendo's now also confirmed it will release special enhanced editions of original Switch game featuring high resolution, improved frame rates, and more. While the company is yet to share an exhaustive list of games getting the Nintendo Switch 2 edition treatment, as it's calling the initiative, the following are so far confirmed. Yeah, we know all the games are confirmed. Let me see. It'll be available to purchase physically and digitally, but players who already own the Nintendo Switch version can alternatively purchase. Right. Okay.
Mm.
So, if you own the game already, that's where you purchase the upgrade pipe, which that's pretty obvious. So I don't know why I'm that surprised. So yeah. The prices haven't been released yet,
Keep it
so
at $10. Keep it at $10. Do not go higher than $10.
yeah, don't go higher than that. But those that buy the game brand new, they'll just get like the Switch 2 edition, which will be costed for already. So that's how it's going to work. You can pay to upgrade your Switch version, or just buy, like say
The
you don't have Tears of the Kingdom, and you buy it for the Switch 2, you'll get the Switch 2 edition. Because it literally says at the bottom of the title of each game, like Nintendo Switch 2 edition. So you know what you're getting. So no price confirmed, so I won't bother reading the rest of the article there. So now we're going to go into the sour fanny aspect of it.
How do you want to
Because
start? Did you want to start with the physical cartridge, or did you want to just hit them?
I'll tell you what, you take the floor with the physical cartridge. I've got your back here with the article.
Okay. So for those that don't know, with the physical cartridge, we might as well just go ahead and let the cat out of the bag because here comes the news. Ginger, you might as well go ahead and tell them the tweet that ruined your day because we're just going to have to kind of just go ahead and talk about it.
Are you talking about the pricing, yeah?
Yep, for physical games.
So the physical games are going to be $90.
You heard him
And the
right.
digital versions are going to be $80.
Mm-hmm.
And that derailed everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely deflated everything. If you'd have told me $50, fine. No
Mm-hmm.
problem. It's a brand new Switch, Switch 2, it's better graphics, bigger games, all that kind of stuff. But $90, that's just a slap in the face. I'm sorry, but that is a slap in the face. And Nintendo know they could do it. Nintendo know they can price gouge fans because people are gonna buy it. They are gonna pay that price. And good luck, because you're never gonna get those games on sale.
Yeah,
Like,
for all you, I'm gonna wait for a sale. No, you ain't. You might get $10 off, if that, because that's how stingy
yeah,
Nintendo is. So, okay, with the physical aspect of the cartridge, that's not actually a physical copy. It may be or it may be the cartridge, but you need the internet to download the game. You cannot have it without the internet. This is where Nintendo's getting you with the physical aspect of things, where it's a data key, essentially, is what Nintendo is trying to tell you. So
Yeah.
you're paying more for less, essentially, is what Nintendo's doing to you if you go strictly physical.
So that means basically you buy the game
Mm-hmm.
and you're in the middle of nowhere. You're not going to have the game.
Nope.
You're not going to have the game. I mean, in terms of like a lot of games that I buy now, say because I don't have my Nintendo Switch. I've given it to my nephews now that they play on it because um if a new game comes out and I want to play it, I'll take my Switch back. But for now, I've given it to them because they're just at that age now. They're 6 years old, going on 7, and we're slowly getting them into gaming and all this kind of stuff. As long as they can share and don't beat the shit out of each other. But a lot of the games I've bought for them that are on the cheap, you buy the you buy the game and there's not even a disc inside. It's just a code. So you take that code and you go online. So if you don't have internet, which happened to my nieces who went into the middle of nowhere for a holiday with their dad and they didn't have Wi-Fi and all this kind of stuff, they had a game that I bought them. And I didn't realize that inside it's just a code. I should have read it because it clearly said it on the front of the package, but I'm stupid. But it's cold, so they couldn't play the brand new game because they didn't have an internet connection. In the end, what they did do is um, they went to a cafe to get Wi-Fi connection to install the game, and then they went back to where they were staying. But that's fuckery. Like, if I buy a physical game, I want the game on there. All games are doing. All companies are doing this now. This isn't unique to Nintendo. So don't people think, oh, you're gonna sit on Nintendo? No, I buy Call of Duty, and Call of Duty is a 50 megabyte disc that you put in, and it's a license key basically. You
Yep.
still have to download 600,000 million trillion gigabytes off the internet to play the goddamn game, and that pisses me off.
Yes.
Going back to the comments here. Let's see. All next generation
Yes.
games are going to be that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. GTA 6, for those of you that are like, GTA 6 isn't going to be $100. Want to bet? Want to fucking bet? It's coming.
It's going to be $110.
It's coming. Guaranteed.
$110.
And that's
They
not
said
even the
it.
deluxe. That's not even the deluxe edition.
No,
Yeah.
no,
That's not even deluxe, folks.
no. That's the standard edition.
Yep.
I agree. Digital copies need to be much cheaper than $10 off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's no overhead. It should be half the price. You know.
Yeah.
That way you can push people to go digital.
Hello, Mr. System.
Hey, Mr. System, welcome to the stream. And then that's the thing, like Sony are getting reprimanded about this, getting their arse dragged to court because their digital games are more expensive than physical games. I looked at Assassin's Creed Shadows to see what the price was. It's fucking £70 for the standard edition digital. I can go to the shop and get it for 50 quid. That's ridiculous. $20 difference.
Doing great.
We're good. We're good. We're now on the sour end of the Nintendo Switch 2 stuff, but we were, filleting it earlier.
Yeah.
And so, these are a couple of shithousery things that Nintendo are doing that, fans will be like, oh, but they're still going to buy it. They're still going to pay for it because they're idiots. They're FOMO.
I mean, admittedly, I knew we were going to get to this $80 price point, but not this quickly. I wasn't thinking this was going to happen until PlayStation 6 because I was like, okay, PS6, that's when it'll probably go to $80. And, wages may match up at that time. I doubt it. But Nintendo's like, yeah, no. Nintendo just said, fuck this. We're kicking this door down. You're going to take it up the ass. It's $80 whether you like it or not. Now, the thing to debate over is, will all games be this way? I think it's a yes and no. I think for the big ones like Yoshi, Mario, Metroid, Zelda, Kirby, the big IPs, those are going to be $80. But like for your indie stuff, no, I don't see the indie games being like $80.
No. I mean, there is a brilliant parkour game that me and Swamp Donkey are keeping an eye on, which is phenomenal. By the way, this parkour game, I'll send it to you to have a look. It's just released now on early access. It's only £25, but it's awesome. big open world skyscraper climbing kind of parkour game. And I said to the company's lovely because they do talk. Because I said the only thing that will get me to buy this game is if I can collide, because they have amazing collision mechanics with smacking into poles and windows and all this kind of stuff. But I said, if I can smack into my friend, you've got yourself a sale. And they said, yes, you can absolutely smack into it. And I was like, I'm sold.
Yep.
I'm sold. Because the mechanics are so good. And I've gone on a tangent, but we're here to praise games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The mechanics are so good that these guys should be given either the wrestling license or a license to do Daredevil game.
Yeah.
That's how good it is. And I will send that to you later. You can have a look for yourself.
Okay.
It's really fucking good. Really good.
But $80 though for standard, like, are you serious, Nintendo? What the fuck?
No, and we're living in a cost of living crisis. Everything's quite expensive. I can't afford to make it through the month with money. I'm literally 3 weeks. That's all my wages last for me. And granted, I only work 2 days a week. I'm trying to get more days, but that's just not going to happen because they don't have the budget for it. And I'm not shitting on work. Love work. This is just a budget thing. It's just how it is. Okay, when you work for a charity, it's all about funding and projects and all this kind of stuff. So, I'm not unique in this. Everyone's having a cost of living crisis. So when corporations keep jacking up the money, at the end of the day, people are either just going to nick your games or they're going to pirate your games.
That's actually a good segue because for all you, I'm going to wait for Nintendo to emulate the system. That's not going to happen because Nintendo ninjas do not fuck around when it comes to emulation. They can't do it with older. They can't do it with like the GameCube and older Nintendo systems. But now it's like good luck trying to pirate the Switch 2. That's going to be a hell of a task for people that are trying to break it.
They'll do it. They'll get through it. They pirated. I had the Switch version of that because I'd get that to download games, try them out, and then go and buy them.
Yeah,
physically. So they emulated the Switch. I think it was called eZune or Zune or something like that. And it obviously got shut down because
the Nintendo ninjas, they don't fuck around. That's my point.
Them lawyers is like fucking crazy. But once you have it, you have it, and you can still get the games out there. I deleted it because it was a pile of shit. I'll be perfectly honest. It wasn't great. The frame rates were always choppy and all this kind of stuff. But, if Nintendo, if you're watching this, I still went out and bought the fucking games that I liked. So, calm your tits. Anyway. So, yeah, piracy and emulation will come. People will grab that Switch 2 emulator quick before the lawyers get to them. So, you're not going to do yourselves any favors. If I were you, I would, make sure that price doesn't come to fruition. If you want to go $70, that's acceptable. That's the limit.
Yeah.
80, 90, 100. Because now you're just going to give ourselves like Take-Two Interactive the ammunition they need to go $100 with GTA 6. You're also going to give ammunition to fucking Ubisoft.
Yep, it's going to get worse.
Always the first to kind of be like, let's see what we can do to fuck with people and the price. So they're just going to be like, to hell with it. We are going to do $100 standard game and you're going to buy it. And then it doesn't sell. They're like, oh, shit. It didn't sell. Zut alors and all this kind of crap. So, yeah, that is the biggest sticking point. And that's...
I honestly see PC and retro gaming coming back. I really do. I think we're going to see the crash of the console industry over real time. I think we're seeing it, and that's where we're going.
Yeah, I can't, like, the PlayStation 5's numbers, they've been good, but not great. Nintendo Switch 2 is probably still going to kick ass.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, regarding that. But PC gaming is taking over the market now because you can game on a relatively cheap unit. Well, a friend of mine, he has a £600 laptop and it's brilliant for gaming. So you have more variety, way cheaper games. So it is the way it's going to go. I think and like the big companies are just going to end up adapting and just putting all their games digital or online. You can just fucking forget consoles, just play the games online. And all this kind of stuff. So the next decade is going to be very interesting. But if you keep jacking up the prices, you're just going to accelerate your own downfall.
Yep, it's coming because what's going to happen is the market, you oversaturate the market. Like, this is kind of our own fault because back in the day, it was like, oh, we want more games. We want more games. We can't wait to see what the consoles do. And now it's like with the rise of digital advent and then with Game Pass, it's going to get to that point where it's like you will literally not be able to buy shit because it's all going to be subscription based.
Yeah,
That's
it's all
where
going
I
to end
think
up.
PlayStation and
Yeah,
Xbox are heading, and Nintendo for that
yeah,
matter.
100%. I
Yeah.
mean, look, personally, I don't care about that just because I'm not one to care about owning a physical copy of a game. It's a game. It's
Same.
not like it's not a film. It's not music and all this kind of stuff. It's a game. I could just fucking emulate most of them anyway. So I'm not that fussed. I feel bad, obviously, for people that do like Cheeto. He loves having physical copies of stuff and all this kind of stuff. Winnie's going to keep Nintendo afloat all by Winnie's going to buy everything Nintendo churn out. Doesn't matter
Yeah.
how expensive it is. She'll even get a 3D printed Pikachu that you have to throw against the wall to turn on your Nintendo Switch. It costs you $150 and she'll buy it.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, it is interesting to see what happens. Because again, the cost of living is not going to get any better. In fact, it's about to get a whole lot worse. It just got a whole lot worse
It's
here in the UK.
Yep, for us too, because
So,
we're on our way to a recession right now. Thank you,
yep.
fat orange fuck. You caused all this to happen to us,
Right.
and here we
I
go.
didn't cause any of this to happen. How dare you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's you can't. I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear any company turn around and complain that nobody's buying their games or their
Why
products
are
when you're
people
charging them.
why are people pirating our stuff? Well,
Yeah.
okay, let's get into this too because we didn't cover this. GameCube games are coming to Nintendo Switch Online. Dolphin Emulator exists for a fucking reason.
That's why Nintendo want to shut those down so
Yep.
that they could resell you their stuff. So you never own anything. They just listen. I have my GameCube. It is my favorite ever Nintendo console.
Yep.
It is the most underrated bad boy on the planet. I love it. It has the best Mario game. Don't fucking at me. Super Mario Sunshine is the best Mario game ever made. Kiss my ass. Well, for me anyway. If you guys might have your own preferences, that's fine. I'm not here to judge you for being lesser than me. But no, I'm just kidding. Look, I love the GameCube. I got it. I'll tell you, Jose. I tell you. So back in the day, we had this electronic store called Dixon's, and
Okay.
it was a subsidiary of another company called Curry's. Now, the smaller stores they shut down around about the time the Nintendo Switch came out, or about a year later. Not the Nintendo Switch, the GameCube came out. So around about that time, that's when they closed down. I was walking to my car behind where the lorries pull in to do deliveries and all this to kind of stores. But for this company, they were doing a clear out. So, in a literal sense of a back of a lorry thing, I see the guy there loading up Nintendo Switch and Nintendo GameCube. I'm sorry, guys, the Nintendo GameCube, and it was about 8 or 9 games with it. And I said to the guy's joke, I said, "Oh, it's Dixon's in it." He goes, "Yeah." I go, "How much for the lot?" He goes, "I'll tell you what, you give me 100 quid, and I'll give you the lot and the GameCube." I was like, "Oh." So I got the GameCube for £100 with 8 games with it. I think it was 8 games, like Time Splitters 2, uh,
Nice.
Mario Kart Double Duck, Wind Wanker, whatever that was called, the Zelda game. All the best fucking games you can get, and the best WWE game as well. That was on there. It was amazing. So I got very lucky with the GameCube, and I tell you what, it's still one of my favorite purchases because it was a brilliant console. So fast forward to now, and you're going to pay almost that price for just a single game that isn't even a game that you need to be online. It's disheartening.
Yep.
So
And the sad fucking thing is, here's the deal. I'm not gonna lie. I'll be getting the Nintendo Switch 2. Ginger at some point will be getting it because we ain't got a choice. We're fucked.
yeah, look,
Yeah.
I'll definitely. Well, I'll say that. I mean, yeah, no, I will get it because there's two
Yeah.
factors in this. Number one, me. Number two, my nephews.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will be getting it because whatever I get just ends up going to them because I don't have any material connections, so they could just have whatever I have. Uncle Spores and Rotten. So that's the main reason I'll get it. But In terms of the games, I might forcibly splurge out on one or two Nintendo
A
exclusive
year.
titles,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna go for third party stuff if it's cheaper.
Yeah.
I'm not here to pay fucking $90 every time a Mario game comes out. Kiss my ass.
No,
You know
I'm
what I
just gonna
mean?
get what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get one of everything, and then probably go indie. That's honestly, I think,
Yeah,
the route I'm taking with the Switch 2 is,
but
just be like, I'm gonna support the small guys out of this one.
and also now that I come to think about it, Nintendo Switch came out 2017.
Yep,
So this is 8 years later. In 8 years, the games have doubled in price because every game on the Switch maxes out at $40, £40. I don't know what it is in dollars.
70 for us or 60 for us. Tears of the Kingdom was the rare exception where it was $70.
What?
Yeah, Nintendo games used to be $60, and then Tears of the Kingdom they went to 70.
Really?
Yep.
That was. Hang on.
This
Let
is
me just see.
yeah, this is price gouging like a motherfucker for sure. Because, like
Whoa,
I
hang
said,
on a second.
I think the route they're gonna take is like the big shit is gonna be $80, but then everything else will be 70 or below. But man, for physical games, for Cheeto, my heart breaks for him and his haircut because I just know he's gonna be like crying himself to sleep tonight. He's gonna be like, "Man, I want that Switch too, man, but I can't have it yet."
Let's have a look.
Mm,
Sorry for the delay. Yeah, no, it was.
yeah.
It was.
Oh.
Yeah, it was. It was £40, £45.
Oh. Okay. Oh. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is cheap. It's like 50 something dollars. I can't believe
Oh.
they
Okay.
stick you guys on
Yeah.
that.
They. Yeah.
So
It's
to
Nintendo.
go from that to
Yeah.
£90, because that's what it's going to cost. Because I saw on the thing it had a euros for like €90 as well. So if it's in euros and dollars, 90 and 80, it's going to be in pounds, which basically means it's going to be about $120. By the way,
Yeah. Per
when
fucking
it does
game.
it, yeah,
Per
for a
fucking
fucking
game.
game,
Yeah.
it's doubled in price in 8 years for the game. That's fucking insane.
And I'm gonna
That's
go ahead and say it now. The Switch 2 is my final Nintendo console. I think I'm tapping out after this one because I fucking hate to see what they're gonna do for the Switch 3 in another 8 years. I am scared. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
let's see what happens in the next 8 years. That's going to be interesting. I think Nintendo will probably still be king of the hill. Let's be
Oh yeah.
honest. It's
Yep.
it's the daddy. The Switch won the console war this time round.
Hmm.
Admittedly, it came out a lot earlier than the other stuff, but PlayStation just hasn't sold as well as uh, you know they expected it to.
Microsoft is going down.
They're
They're
dead.
going down. Yeah.
Yeah, they're dead. That's why I think they're going to pivot to handheld next,
Yep.
which is a complete waste of time because
Yeah.
I don't need, I can get
You
it on
got the
my
Switch 2
PC.
for that. Yeah, and you
You can
got the
Switch
Switch 2
too.
if you want to take it with you. Yeah.
Yeah, and
So,
there's other handheld consoles that are coming out that are just because that's the market now. The market has seen a resurgence in three things: PC gaming, handheld consoles, retro gaming.
yep.
That's a huge market. I've just taken a punt and ordered a handheld retro gaming
Emulator
machine.
type of deal. Nice.
Yeah. It comes with thousands of games. I got it from Temu. It was only $40.
Okay.
So the good thing is with Temu, if it sucks, I could just send it back and get a full refund. So I'm not. There's no risk
Yeah.
involved. I saw the reviews for it, and all but one have been really good on it, and I checked the ones that are bots because you could tell the difference. And so far, so good. So fingers crossed, I get it, and that's it. You'll never see me again. I'll just be sitting
Yeah.
there in a little corner.
I just think with the way the console generation is going to go, PlayStation and Nintendo will still be here, whereas Microsoft, it's over. With Nintendo, they're going to be the king of the hill forever.
Yeah,
Nintendo will be
Nintendo will
number
be king
one.
of the hill. PlayStation
Yeah.
6 will probably be the last PlayStation, if I'm being honest.
Yep.
I think after that, they're just going to go full digital and
Yep.
non-exclusive, just like Xbox. Just stick it wherever.
Yep. It's coming. I think we're really going to see the crash of the industry in 10 years. I really believe that. It's coming.
Yeah, for the consoles, not for other
no,
stuff.
for PC and retro, because that's where I'm headed. I'm going PC and retro. I think.
Yeah, that's going to be the biggest market, which is why Nintendo want to shut down everyone else from owning these games and shut down emulations. And I
Yep.
wouldn't be surprised if other companies do the same, so that they can then monopolize their retro market as well,
Hmm.
and turn that into a huge commodity and ruin that. And then everyone's just going to be sitting there masturbating in the corner because that's all that's going to be left.
Yep.
Well, I do that anyway, but that's not the point of this stream. But I lost my train of thought now because I was just thinking about myself masturbating.
But yeah, with Nintendo and Sony and
oh
Microsoft, I think it's all going to subscription based, and I fear for that the worst. And that's
yeah,
just going to be, oh, dude, I'm not ready for that.
yeah. I don't think anyone is, but it's going to be natural. The younger generations will be like, "Yeah, it's just normal." I'm like, "No, you don't understand. You
We
literally
used to own the fucking games. We
own
had them.
things."
Yeah,
Yeah,
they were ours. We didn't have to pay, $50 a month or whatever the fuck.
yeah, fucking ridiculous. But I just want to say also, look, dying being the end for certain companies like so. I think Sony will be perfectly fine even if they stop doing a console. Because listen, Sega make more money now than when they did when they had a console. Like they're
Yep.
killing it. I mean, their fucking Yakuza game alone just
Love that
makes
shit.
them
Love
bang.
that game.
Yeah,
Yep.
everyone loves it. And Sega are doing amazing. I think Sony will be in that same box. Not Xbox.
No,
Not
they're
Xbox.
done.
Because
They're
their
done.
games are shit. They have the worst exclusives. Nobody cares about what Halo and Gears of War. Ooh, fucking great. So Xbox will be fucked basically. If it wasn't Microsoft to have the monopoly, if it was their own entity, they'd be fucked already. But Sony, I think Sony will survive perfectly well without the console. Nintendo would kill it even if they didn't have a console. Let's face it. But yeah, the next generation is going to be interesting to see. So join us again. We're going to end the stream here.
Yeah.
Join us again when we talk about the announcement of the PlayStation 6. Probably that will come in the summer Games Festival. Of course, there will be other stuff regarding gaming. But
And
yeah,
I think our next stream is going to be the Switch 2 review because I'm planning on getting it, and if nothing else, I'll just
oh,
review
there
it.
you go. So
Yeah.
Jose will be giving you the Switch 2 review. I'll
Yep.
set that up. You'll be doing the review yourself because I won't be
Okay.
getting it day one unless I
Yep.
win the lottery, in which case I'll get everything day one and whores and cocaine as well. But again, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about gaming. On that note, I want to thank everyone that joined us on the stream. If you're tuning in late, thank you for tuning in late. Please keep an eye out for other stuff. We cover everything you can think of, and we come at everything with both an objective mind and a slightly left skewed mind. But we're honest, we're open, we're sexy, we're well hung. And on that note,
And I
CBA
will.
also keep Nintendo going. Yes,
Not like Winnie
absolutely.
though. I'm not going to buy every fucking game. I'm like, nope. I won't
Yeah,
be buying every single game.
no, he's going to have to start, doing some Luigi Mangione on people that cut off his social security as well. So, we've got stuff to
Yep.
deal with. And on that note, we're going to end the stream violently there. And thank you all. Let normality resume. Bye.